Okay, Joe says, I would just like to go on the record as opposing the seemingly obvious male villager win, because while he is buff, he is dumber than a bag of bricks, can't follow instructions, doesn't have chemistry with his fellow units, and sometimes just stops working for no reason at all. I think that's a very valid point. Joe says, also, Meso monks, less clothes, no male pattern baldness, no books, so not a nerd, no Christian guilt, does drugs, equals hot. Can someone explain to me why the Meso monk apparently does drugs? I agree with everything else though, although I like a nerd. So I kind of think the Meso monk lacking the book is a little bit of a negative in my books. But anyway, we'll get there. We're just gonna start with the male villager. Steve says Meso monks are stacked. Hey, fucking justice for camels. We've got a couple camel units in here. Thank you, Sis and Dory. Have a good night. Or a good sleep, I should say. Use scout for Esther. Medicinal herbs. Oh, yeah. Okay. PVC must be good because they necessarily have chemistry. That's true. So many good points already. Let's start with the male villager. So, look. Obviously, everyone's going to be like, well, he's ripped. Clearly, like, the pecs are just extreme. And the shoulders and the biceps, but it's not all about the physical look. And I have to agree with Joe's points, saying that the male villager, while he is buff, is dumber than a bag of bricks, can't follow instructions, doesn't have chemistry with his fellow units, and sometimes just stops working for no reason at all. So I think a low work effort, a low, what's the phrase? I put it in my resumes all the time. Work ethic, that's the word. Like, yes, he gets to work and that's all he does with his life. So maybe actually, that's a negative in itself. He works a lot. I don't know if there's much time for family, you know, and that concerns me. But they are multi-talented. I'm sitting on the fence here. My bills don't work a lot. That is true. Yes, valid point. I'm gonna start off with the male villager. We're gonna chuck him in B tier. There's a lot of positives, but there's a lot of negatives as well. Sitting on the fence, I'm not super overwhelmed with the male villager as a whole. So that's where we're gonna start, and we can change it, okay? Hitcake says the female villager is clearly a gold digger, red flag for you. Literal gold digger, but so is the male villager. I think that she... Pretty much same comments for her, right? They're essentially the same unit, but she gets a little bit of a bonus because she does everything that he does in a dress, and that's impressive. She's wearing a lot more layers. The days are hot out on Arabia. She just gets down and does it. Doesn't complain. Just does it. I'm gonna put her ahead of him. Because we're gonna rank it within the tiers as well. I think we've got to. And keeps her hair really pretty. Or maybe... oh god. We'll leave him there for now. If it gets too stacked at the top, he will move down. We want a nice balanced tier list. I think he's gonna be C. Actually, we'll see. Okay, so the militia. I don't know what to say about the militia, really. Yeah, Max, I was thinking the same thing. The militia isn't a club of his... I was thinking exactly the same thing. Liam, you're not too impressed with the militia. Himbo vibes, we do love himbo vibes. No S because shirtless, sad Word Raider noises. Well, the Word Raider we know, well, no spoilers, but if you haven't seen the unique unit video, type exclamation mark sexy. We do the unique unit tier list. Your Word Raider's there, your TK is there, the elephants are there as well. Kind of a bully, yeah. Yeah, I think kind of a bully as well. Not very... yeah, and he picks on those weaker than him. He picks on the vulnerable. I just don't like the vibes from the militia. I think they're, like, there's always 3 of them, or 2 of them, sometimes 4 of them. They're just in a bit of a clique. It's a little bit exclusive, and then they pick on the vulnerable. You can bring him to family dinner? I don't think so. Dark HMO. I'm putting him C tier. Now... the spearman. Given an elephant rider, gotta be quite the unit to control. They're later on, don't worry. We've got them. We've got them. Now the spearman. Okay. He does have a Very long pole. And he's got awareness of sun safety. That, I have to really appreciate that. I really like the sun safety. Not just the hat, but the chainmail around the neck and the ears. And the sun shirt under the tunic. Some soft hands. How do you know what makes you think a spearman has soft hands? Yeah, won't die from skin cancer early on in life. Yeah, I just appreciate that. I appreciate a man that takes care of his skin. And he's determined. I feel like the spearman is always just chasing around scouts, and obviously a spearman's not going to catch up with the scout, but he tries anyway. And I appreciate that. Look at the back of his hands. Yeah, they're quite shiny actually. I see what you mean. Yeah, okay. We're going to check him up in B tier. Front of the male villager. Okay, so the skirmisher. Is it a Burmese? If it's a Burmese skirm, boom! No, it's a generic skirm, non-civ specific. I like skirmishers. I think that they've got great athletic ability with their javelin throwing. I could see them with high ambitions to be upgraded to an E-skirm. Wooden shield out of season. Yeah, the wooden shield's a bit tacky. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the shield. He does look determined. They hit like a wet noodle. Yeah. Yeah, oh, Steve has a good point. Generic skirm, a bit like a bogan. Maybe I'm just thinking ahead. I'm getting a bit too excited about the E-skirm, which we'll get to later. But the generic skirm, you're right, they do hit like a wet noodle. Skirm raids though, yeah, but not with feudal skirms. So I think there's potential, but it's just gotta be a C tier at the moment. Yeah. Shield isn't even built well. Yeah, that's a good point. Still prefer over the militia, but yeah, that's a good point. Okay, so the scout. Ooh, I'm just gonna straight up disagree with me if you like, but a scout's gotta be A tier. Right? Think of the many abilities of the scout. The scout is brave. It'll just venture out into the darkness for you. I think that's quite romantic. It's got so much courage. Wields a sword. Cares for animals. I reckon he's good friends with the horse, right? Would take care of him. I'm impressed with the scout. And so they scout, they push in deer as well. They find your sheep, they find your boars, all the scouting that they do, and they can help with your attacks if they're blocking villages. I think that's really, it's quite talented. I'm gonna leave the scout in A tier. I like the scout. What the first S tier unit will be? I don't know. Oh, seems like he's good enough to bring home to the parents, but not to date or marry. B tier. Would be good to bring home to the parents indeed. But I think there's dating potential there. I'm gonna leave the scout there for now. Okay, so the Eagle Scout. Now, in a way they do all the same things, but the constant cosplay is a little bit obnoxious. That's a very... and I'm all for cosplay, but just not 24/7. Like, and I reckon the Eagle Scout would like wake up in the morning and go caw. Like, that's how in character it would get, and it's a bit of a turn off. They're a little bit cocky, I suppose. Just thinking that they're invincible, but really they're not that great. If I put the regular Scout at A, I think Eagle Scout can go C tier. But before the militia, I still really just don't like the militia. Imagine their legs though, all this running. Look, they do have great endurance. Fitness endurance. But I think because of that, they're always running. And I think they'd mess around, they'd just run away. And I prefer a bit of commitment, you know? Okay, so the men-at-arms. Men-at-arms. Now, here's a man with a helm. And a decent looking shield. What do we think of the men-at-arms? I still feel like they can really hurt you. Like, you might underestimate them. You might open yourself up to them. Whether that's missing a palisade in the woodline or something. And once you open up to them, I think they can really hurt you. And I think they're a bit of a player in that sense. Men-at-arms too slow. Having to put your gender in the name is a bit of a red flag. Oh, yeah. Yeah, kind of like a, how are we going to describe this? Like a try-hard kind of alpha male, like, I'm a man at arms. I'm at arms, I'm ready to go. It's like, yeah, well, just get over yourself. Still better than a militia, because I appreciate the commitment to the training. Man-at-arm looks insecure, big red flag. I'm just gonna put him there in C tier. I know we're stacking up C tier, but don't worry, we've got some great units coming up. The feudal archer, I'm gonna say is one of them. Look, the feudal archer, what can't they do? I appreciate someone that would make their own arrows, string their bow, really dedicate themselves to the art of archery. And they're social butterflies as well. Like, they always have a lot of friends around them. His bow takes proper skill, and his gun's out. Yeah, that's the other thing. Who said it in Discord? I think Joe said, yeah, Joe says, no sleeves, guns out, no fucks given. It's a good point. But they're sensitive? Yeah, but sensitivity, I think, is good. That's something I really value. I'm gonna chuck him up in A tier. Because I think they're quite impressive. Okay, so for the pikemen, we're into feudal pikeman. Pikeman. Just a bigger pole than spearman, but that's it. Still kind of not as sun safe. That was a big perk of the spearman with the white brimmed hat. So the pikeman's getting a little bit relaxed. Boring spearman, 10 years on the job with That's a great point. 10 years on the job with no real promotions or upward movement. Yeah, that's actually a great point. That white overall is just a disaster to keep clean if you actually do anything. Yeah, okay, so that's a great point, Sol. I reckon the pikeman would expect someone else to wash his tunic. Do you think that's fair? Although if I'm putting the pikeman there, I feel like I should move the militia down. Yeah, I'm really not keen on the militia. The long stick is compensating for something else. Okay, so now onto the elite skirm. We put the feudal skirm in C tier. A lot of good things about the skirm, but the feudal skirm just, yeah, the shield isn't very well built. But the E-skirm, now there's a hefty upgrade. If it's Ethiopian, then he didn't even do anything for promotion. True, Jonah. Yeah, we're talking about the pikeman. Yes, exactly. Just expects everything to happen for him, but doesn't work for it, you know? So yeah, I'm happy with the pikeman in D. Salted says Chad E-skirm keeps his village safe and is a fashionista. Bad posture? Who's got the bad posture? The E-skirm? Follow safety protocol. Yeah. Elite skirm is also Chad enough to kill knights. I think what I like about the E-skirm is he's humble. He's often underestimated. But if you believe in him, it's impressive what he can do. So maybe he just needs a little bit of assurance. But when you believe in him, he's gonna go B tier. And the E-skirm won me a lot of games actually, so no. I'll put him B tier. I like the E-skirm. Okay, so what do we got? What is this? Sexiest scout? Humble as it can be while having elite in its name. Yeah, but of all the elite things, the skirm is kind of like, you wouldn't look at the skirm and be like, yeah, that's elite. So I think it is humble in that sense. They didn't choose their name. It was earned. Recently lost recently lost weight, but wants everyone to know it. Like, they're too stupid to use their shield, probably. Oh, Bear Matt, you reckon sexier than Scout? Look at those shoulders. Steve reckons A tier. Look, I think in many ways it is a Scout, but better. But I feel like, yeah, he knows that he's better and he's got a bit of an attitude because of it. With the whole, like, fancy shoulder armor, not needing a shield. Like, has a shield, but it's like, no, I don't need it. I've never needed one of these before. And has a bit of an anger issue, I feel. Like the Scout would scout around. It would get intel. It'd take its time. It'd push some deer. It'd keep updated on the happenings of your opponent. But the Light Cav is just like, no, I know everything. I'm just gonna go attack. You tell your parents you're dating a cataphract, but you're really seeing a Light Cav. I don't know where to put the Light Cav. Oh yeah, Light Cav is actually slower than the Scout to the extra armor. Weighed down by the burdens of his duty. B tier for now. Okay. So the next one is the trade cart, and I have to say, I'm just gonna do it. Does anyone disagree? Really? What? The trade cart just embodies sexiness. Guns out, great endurance, brings the goods, brings you anything you desire, brings you gold. I'm not a gold digger. Not aggressive, yeah. Just enjoys the scenery, enjoys the journey. And it's about the journey, not the destination. Wants to avoid conflict. I'm like that too, so I appreciate that. And really works hard. I think a trade card is quite humble. Doesn't flex it. It's not even like in his name. He's not even like a trader. He's the trade cart. He realizes the value of his duty. Of course, Millsy. Creating gold out of nowhere is clearly S tier. We all want a friend like that. Appreciates going to the market. Like the farmer's market, supporting local business. That's S tier. They're always on the road for work. Yeah, but I imagine, and can you really disagree, before the trade cart leaves for another journey, he'd say, would you like me to bring you anything? He's well travelled. Has seen the world. It's like a traveling vacuum salesman? No, he is going in S tier. Hey, the real Zelda. Okay, disagree with me if you like. We can discuss once we've placed some more. Because he's our only S tier for now, and I think that's worthy. Epic Bubble, you call catfish, you expect Aztec trade cart, but you get European trade cart. I don't have an image of the Aztec trade cart. You're supposed to trust a guy who can't afford a horse ox to pull his cart. I think that he doesn't want to put that strain on an animal, and that's beautiful. He realizes he's got the capabilities to do it. It's going to keep him fit. He wants to see the world. He doesn't want just some animal to do the work for him. That's beautiful. Oh, warms my heart. He can run as fast as a horse. Yeah, he can actually run really fast. Okay, so we've got the longsword. The longsword. I think the longsword is absolutely compensating. It's in the name. It's like, I've got a long sword, but it's like, I don't need to know that. And I think his shield, it kind of... I feel like material-wise it's meant to be an upgrade, but it looks like a downgrade from the Man-at-Arm. You think you'll need to go back to rewatch the Understand the Injustice of Villagers Not Made best year? I'm sorry, C-Bomb. There's some valid points, so they're right at the start. They were the first ones. Trying too hard for a simple career. Yeah. And I don't think it's about... Forgive me for saying this. It's not about the length of the sword, it's how you use it, right? And just like flexing, I have a long sword, I'm so much better than everyone. It's just like, well, no. I actually think that you're not that impressive. Yeah, Max, that'll come later. Oh, just wait till we get to that unit. Ugh. I'm gonna put him... there. Long sword, no long shield, just doesn't... Yes, actually, good point. Doesn't make any sense. Now we're on to the crossbow, and I think the crossbow is a bit of a chad. I don't know why though. He's wearing leggings, which I think is awesome. I think the crossbow has had a really impressive career promotion. And I kind of look at the crossbow and I think it's just like shooting Cupid's arrow to my heart. Is it more impressive though than a feudal archer? Yeah, I think so. For different reasons, but I just appreciate the dedication to rising in the promotion line. They ruin your life on a daily basis. He's got sunblock helmet too, like the spear. Yeah, slightly. Not as good as the spearman with the wide brim. It's kind of like a bucket hat. Boom. And then on to the knight. Ooh, the knight. We put the actual gold diggers in B tier. Yeah. Yeah. So Liam says, I don't know, crossbows seem clingy, they always want to be around others. I don't think that's clingy, because it's in a group setting. I think they're extroverts, they thrive on social outings, social presence. So good on them. Max reckons A or B tier. Why though? Why? Okay, so they love horses, obviously. But do they though? Because they send them into battle. At least they've put armor on the horse, which is a good thing, I guess, to protect the horse. Steve, is that just because they ruin... Yes, it's just because they ruin your life on a daily basis. I think, I like their shield. I like their determination. They don't really do anything else but attack and raid. Survivalists told you they are trash. Why? Knights are famous to switch sides easy. Red flag. Ooh. Good point. Good point. What about chivalry? Avignas. Thank you. That's a good point. Chivalry. But that's very specific just to Frank Knights. You don't question survivalists, you just obey. They are chivalrous. Payhal reckons their helmet looks dumb. Never realised that before. Yeah, their helmet does kind of look dumb. It looks like they've got a really small head. What we're doing is... Well, it's up there. You can see. No explanation needed. We are ranking the standard Age of Empires 2 units by their sex appeal. Schlachter privileges. They are pretty privileged and they know it, don't they? They're not even trying to hide it. Knights to the Crusades, that's bad. And they did them like 20 times. That's D tier behavior. Yeah. Yeah, look. The Knights... I'm gonna put it C tier. There's a couple of positives, but ultimately mostly negatives. It could even go high D tier, but we'll see. We will see. I think for 11 months. In Age of Empires, 11 means ha 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 ha. Absolute nightmare to deal with. Oh, good point. We're talking a bit of everything. we're considering, would you bring this unit home to meet the parents? Pretty much. Okay, now the Eagle Warrior. I feel I'm getting artistic vibes with the painting on the shield, the feathered embezzlement of the spear, but still a little bit too into birds. It's a little bit obsessive. But at least he has no shame. He's owning it. He's like, I really, really like birds. And that's gonna be the basis of my entire personality. Does have conversion resistance, so I think they're loyal. Chicken cosplayer, enough said. A more well-rounded cosplayer. Yeah, at least they've gone to a bit more effort, so they're honing their craft. Right of their culture heritage seems serious, not like the Eagle Scout. Yeah, that's a good point. I think it's got to go above the Eagle Scout for sure. Can't escape the fact that it's a man in a chicken suit. Yeah, ultimately, at the end of the day, it's a man in a chicken suit. Oh. You think it gets sexy once they become warriors. Eagle Warrior, committed cosplayer, elite eagle, just a bit too into it. Avignos, you call Eagle Warriors E-Girl Warriors if that counts for anything here. E-Girl, oh, I like that. Nice. I think I'm just gonna put it. It's just not really sexy. I'm justifying its interests and its behavior, but at the end of the day, it's just gonna go there. It's a little above the Eagle Scout, but just not very sexy. Okay, so the Camel Rider. Justin Bond. I do like their voice. Multi hates birds. No. Camels don't smell too good, you can tell you. I'm not sure I like camels. Look, the camel itself, I love it. They go, whoa. The Camel Rider? Avignos reckons Camel Rider beast. This guy looks like he and his camel smell like perfume. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Like spicy Arabian perfumes. School is very awesome. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. What do you think about camel riders? Pros, might bring tea. True. Con, not really good at anything, even when they pretend to be good at it. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like it'd just be something casual with a camel rider. And I don't get a whole lot of, what's the word? Kind of courage. I want them to step up, and I'm just not getting that vibe from them. Hey Dev, yes, finally a useful tier list. I said it at the start of the stream, no more of this rubbish, which civ is the best on this map, No, this is the tier list we need. They attack faster too, very dexterous person. Good point. Good point. They did fight the Dickish Crusaders. Yeah. So I think... Oh, we needed to wait 20 years to change name from Camel into Camel Rider. Is it Rider or Raider? Uniform equipment are clean and kept well. B tier. I also think B tier. I'm going to put him at the bottom of the B tier. Actually, above the light cap though. Because he doesn't have the attitude issues that the light cap does. The Cav Archer. Okay, now this is a unit of... This is a unit that just oozes impressiveness. Like, I'm so impressed by the CA. Just by looking at them, they are multi-talented, able to ride a horse and shoot arrows at the same time. Has a feather in the helmet, we know that's a big plus. Rides a horse one-handed. So there's some positives, but it's sexy. I think the feather definitely adds a lot of sex appeal. And the skillfulness. Right, so yeah, sorry, Avignos, you're right actually. In the image it's one-handed, but when it's shooting, it's riding the horse, no hands. Look mum, no hands. Pretty useless, yeah, but we're not going to judge them for that. In battle. Of course they're going to need some friends. CA is so good that anything else have bonus damage against him. You don't like the helmet thing though, it seems impersonal. What do you mean, Yolo Boy? I think it shows a lot of personality. Bit of a fashionista. Yeah, you're sexy, A tier. Zyvac, I think they're pretty sexy as well. You want to look a unit in the eye. You're not gonna like crossbow then. It's kind of all the benefits. Actually, it's all the benefits of the scout. Not really, maybe more the black cap, but the scout and the expo. It's an A tier for me. One camel rider is better than one CA. I'm more impressed by a CA than a camel rider. The Lord Doubt loves using CA, so obviously they're sexy. Exactly, Niles. Exactly. Okay, now this absolute... No, I'm kidding. It's gonna be the Aztec monk. The regular monk. So the positives here, he's a smart man, wise, dedicated to study, but the kind of staff thing he's got I think is a little outdated, especially when we compare it to the Aztec monk, who's got like a golf club there. He's into leisurely sports. This is kind of like I'm an educated shepherd with that pole, with the staff. He's so convincing, he's just an old man. I think at the end of the day, he's just a bald old man, and personally, I'm not into that. A bit frail, yes. Now, +1 point if they have sanctity, but usually, in my opinion, people are always too late to get sanctity, so they are quite frail. Acts like he knows and is better. It does act like a bit of a know-it-all. He can convince you. Yeah, but I think that's a little bit of a red flag. It's like he's constantly trying to convince you of everything. I feel like he wouldn't really respect differing opinions. Maud reckons too charismatic though. If he can talk to you for a few seconds, you change your whole idea of friendships. Yeah. Can bring you gifts. I think bringing gifts is just trying to buy friendship though, or buy affection. Judgmental old man trying to tell you, yeah. Longer we wait, higher chance he'll convert us all into S tier. Oh shit. Manipulative. Boom. Yeah, disillusion. Yeah, okay. Now, take all that, but just put him in some fancier clothes and put some feathers on his head, and suddenly we have a Chad. We have a man that he's kind of sexy in a way. But it's different from this monk. It's different from the regular monk. This monk is kind of like, I've seen some things, I've done some crazy voodoo shit, and I want you to come on this experience with me. Jungle resident instead of church dweller. Dwellet. And I like his sense of fashion. I like the fancy feathers. I like the golf club staff. And I feel like he could do some cool shit with it too. I feel like he could spin it around, like whack somebody over the head with it if they've been a twit. And I think he's just got a lot more personality. Aztec Monk is a 50-year-old man who thinks he's still in his 20s. Oh, even sicker headdress than the elite eagle and offset. Yeah. Not sure about the human sacrificing part. Yeah, that's a good point. Same red flags as the Western Monk though, just hotter. Well, pretty much. I've admitted that. I'm not gonna lie. Not afraid to get his hands dirty for people. +1. Auto Merkel, I'm glad you like it. The Meso Monk is pretty hot. Like I think A tier worthy. Steve reckons solid B tier, and Steve thinks everything is a little less than what I think it is, so I'm pretty happy with my A tier. Oh yeah, and so much HP. Look, we're getting is it specifically, what do the Inca and Mayan monks look like that? Yeah, they're all Meso monks, right? They're all got the same skin. Not just the Aztec monk. But okay, good point. He can't be 50 years old with 95 HP. He gives off a chieftain vibe though. Influence is hot in that regard. Yes! Zyvac, you get it. You totally get it. Definitely chieftain vibes. Definitely looking out for the community, as opposed to this self-serving, manipulative, outdated old man. Bottom of A2. Okay, so next is the battle elephant. The battle elephant. Look, I hope you all know by now, but honestly, I'm just not into elephants. And the elephant rider, I think, just constantly like elephant, wait, what? Sometimes it comes up with that, but I don't know why I said that. Spearman with an elephant, B tier. Spearman with an elephant. It's a spearman with an elephant. It's a spearman, but a free elephant. Yeah, but I think I've kind of got the same issue with some of the other units. It's kind of like, I don't think an elephant should be going into battle. And I think the man riding the elephant should just be a spearman or a pikeman. Like, just do it yourself. Don't rely on the tankiness of this beautiful beast when you could just get off your ass and do it yourself. It's tough. I really don't know what to do with the battle elephant. Because I think it's just kind of an unimpressive unit on an impressive elephant. We're not eating the elephant, guys! How did Scouts get A tier? Scouts are so unsexy. Are you kidding? Otto, go back in the VOD. Don't get me started on Scouts. They're a sexy unit. He's definitely compensating. Yeah, I think so. I think he's actually a very weak unit and just really relying on the elephant to carry him. Literally, but also metaphorically. I'm gonna chuck the battle elephant C tier. I'm just not that into elephants, and I'm not into kind of lazy dudes just sitting on the elephant while the elephant does all the work. Like, he's got a spear. He's like, oh, I'm contributing, but he doesn't do shit with it, right? I've only got one unit in S tier, and it's the freaking trade card. Oh, with the elephant, you can have a picnic while on an elephant. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at C tier. So that moves on to the Step Lancer. Oh, I wasn't prepared. I didn't really see the Step Lancer coming, and now that it's here, I think Step Lancers are sexy as hell. Henry, they're like the people that have their pet in the dating profile to lure you in. Yes, brilliant point. Now I'm happy with the Battle Elephant and C. They are like the people that have their pet in the dating profile to lure you in, or streamers that just keep showing their cute fluffy cat to lure you in. He's asleep. I won't get him. Step Lancers are sexy. I can't really justify it though. It's just a vibe that I have. And I don't think I can put a unit in S tier just based on vibe. I need to justify it. They do have cool armor. I like the little embellishment on their helmet. I like that with the long spear, they kind of... See, this is a good example of the person doing the work. Like, that spear does the damage before the horse gets close to any danger. As opposed to the elephant. The battle elephant. Their attack sound is pretty lame. Yeah, that is true. And we can't get past the brilliant potential for the porn reference with, what are you doing, Step Lancer? So, because of that, high A. Not in front of CA though. Because we are onto the petard. Okay. Petard is an absolute Chad. Willing to die for you. Literally willing to die for you. It's S tier. The petard goes up. It's a bit extreme. Look, it's a little bit extreme, but it's just... it's dedication. Actually, maybe it's too extreme. But I also feel like they do anything you asked. Like, if you ask them to bring you some water, they wouldn't be like, oh, go get it yourself. They'd just bring it to you. And if you wanted to break through a wall, they would make that happen. You can carry so much beer into the party. Yeah, Romeo syndrome. Oh, maybe it's a bit too extreme. Maybe they're a little, maybe a bit too delusional though. Maybe taking it too far. Doesn't ask questions, is ready to just be spontaneous, be sporadic, be a little crazy, and just do things. I'm actually going to take him down. I'm going to put him behind the Step Lancer. It's just a bit extreme. Because in going that far, doing it for you, it doesn't realize that then it can't be there for you. It leaves you alone. So yeah, I recognize that they're very strong. They're carrying these barrels around all day. And not just carrying barrels like a pleb, like carrying barrels like a Chad. They are a Chad, I can't deny it. But we just need a little bit of balance. I'm happy to reconsider the petard. Killing yourself not sexy. True. Okay, so the halberdier. The halberdier. Man in a dress. I think that's sexy. Doesn't really care what people think of him. Has now had a pretty serious promotion. Nails halberdier. You like the scarf? I also like the scarf. I just like the sense of fashion. They have a nice skirt. They're relatively S tier. If you have to cover up like that, you clearly have no sex appeal. That's no. It's not about whether you're covering up or whether you're showing skin. It's about the intention. And I think here is a man that is protecting himself. Nothing sexier than 32 bonus damage. Good point. 32 bonus damage. It's pretty sexy. You would S tier them? Ooh. Ooh, would we S tier them though? Shad help killing paladins with just a little, yeah, with a little stabby stab. I recognize we have a lot in A tier. I'm kind of thinking A tier for halbs. And we can, once we've done everyone, we can have a look through and see if we need to adjust. But I'm going to put the halb in A tier for now. 60 bonus damage against 4 elephants, animal killers. Yeah, but let's just use the excuse that monks counter elephants better than halbs, which is not necessarily true, but that's my excuse. Paladins are scared of them. Who can say that? Should be A tier. I'm honestly, yeah, we're gonna move up in A tier at least. Front of the petard. Okay, that brings us to the Hussar. Hussars are pretty sexy. Hussar are S tier. I actually think they're a really sexy unit. I don't hate birds. I actually love birds. Hussars are just addicted to Red Bull. Hussar sounds like huzzah, and huzzah is a great exclamation, especially around here. Still a bit pretentious wearing the shield on the back without using it. Yeah, but I think at this point now they don't need to use it. They're in there, they're raiding, they are finishing off a late game for you. They have a good diet, they eat a lot of food. And I think that's good. Aesthetically, Hussar S tier. They are really speedy, but Rob makes a good point. They like to mass murder civilians, but a lot of these units do. We're not going to judge them too harshly for that. They're just doing what they're told. I'm going to put the Hussar in S tier. I just think they're sexy. I think they look great. I think they're brave, just like the Scout. They get shit done. They stop bad stuff from happening. Time to get some feathers. Yes, feathers is a big win. Dependable in a crisis. Maud, great point. Like literally a historical track record of sexiness. If Joe agrees, then I'm happy. But now this brings us to a very potentially controversial unit in terms of sexiness. The Elite Eagle Warrior. Now, as you can see, the Eagles so far, they haven't done too well. We're just getting a little bit of like obsessive cosplay vibes, like they just won't kind of get back to reality. And it's probably a bit sweaty and stinky under the eagle headdress, and I just feel like they'd go around and make bird noises when it's really kind of not the right setting to do so. I definitely think they're sexier than the Eagle Scout and the Eagle Warrior. They're cuckoo. Nice. They're kind of like furries, good for some, hard pass for others. That's true. I find them more sexy than the Eagle Scout and the Eagle Warrior. I think now they're elite. They're really owning it. They're unashamed of who they are. And now I think that they've gone elite. I can appreciate that. Elite Eagle looks like he went to art school before taking up arms to defend his people. Yeah, actually, and I said that for the Eagle Warrior as well. Just like the arts and crafts on the sword and the spear, and the shield and the spear. And now with the extra embezzlement to the headdress, I think they're a creative unit. Like they appreciate art, and costume making, and yeah, Rob, they must be ripped. They run a lot. They're pretty fast. I'm gonna go a solid B tier. I'm gonna go, yeah, chuck the B tier there. The Elite Eagle Warrior. Oh god, we're on the two-handed swordsman now. Oh dear, I fretted this moment. I've dreaded this. Two-handed swords have to be S tier best looking unit. Are you kidding? Inviting two? What is sexy about a two-handed swordsman? I think they're sexier than champs. Okay, I do think they're sexier than champs. And I think they're sexier than the longsword for sure, but almost every unit is sexier than the longsword, who's down at the bottom of D tier. Hottest barracks unit. What can you say? He has a big sword. So weak that he has to wield it with two hands. It is a little, yeah, ambitious to carry that sword. I do enjoy their attack animation. Doesn't need a shield. The way they swing that sword, oh my god. Okay, you guys like the 200 swordsmen. They're really dedicated to their military prowess. They train a lot. He's the guy that said, yeah man, I can't handle this thing, and then kind of can't. I mean, yeah, I can handle this thing, and then kind of can't. Well, I think it's in the name. If it's, he's a 200 swordsman, it's kind of like he's accepting that he's gonna need two hands to wield his weapon, and he's just owning that. So it's not kind of being cocky or anything. He's just accepting his capabilities. I just don't get, it's not too much that's sexy about him though. I'm gonna put him at the top of C tier, if that's okay with everyone. Oh, another Arbalester. Oh, I think Arbs are pretty sexy. They shoot fast though, technically that's a side. But feather in the helmet, heaps of armor, well protected, maybe too much armor actually. Maybe it's really hard to kind of get through to them and see their vulnerable side. Absolutely crazy lats under that armor though. A for Arbalest. A for Arbalest. We've got a lot in A though. I really like the sound that they make. I like the attack animation. I think they're pretty sexy, and they can take on a mangonel. They seem so arrogant, really? I think they're disciplined. May as well be a bird with the feathers. No, look, usually feathers are good. The eagles just take it too far. But I rate feathers quite highly. If Expo are A tier, gotta be S tier. Well, I think they've got to be above Expo indeed. Whether it's S tier, I don't know yet. I feel like they could be a little closed off. Deserved arrogance? Yeah, like they're the top of the line. Behind Petard. Yeah, I would even go in front of, I would go between Halb and Petard, I think. I think we're gonna chuck him there. Oh, it's so many in A, we're gonna have to promote some to S, I'm telling you. Look, initially, YOLO Boy, I put the Petard in S tier, but then I just realized that they're a little bit extreme. They take it a bit too far, and they actually don't have, like, they don't think too logically, because they're so willing to do anything you ask, do anything for you, but ultimately what that means is that then they can't be there for you anymore. They take it too far, and who's going to be there to support you once they've gone and blown themselves up? The upgrade is cheap too, so you can spend more money on more important things. So that's a good point. Oh, that's a good point. Oh, we're definitely going to have some being upgraded to S tier. I can tell you now. It doesn't last very long. They go out with a bang. They're always going to go out with a bang. Okay, so we're on to the Cavalier. Oh, Cavalier. Kind of got the same issues that I have with the Knight. But sort of like that cheesy romance story where you know they're not coming back. That's kind of hot. Oh, Zyvac, good point. It's kind of like you know it's going to be a fling, so you just have the time of your life while you can. Oh. You touch the baton and they explode. Living under the shadow. Yeah, well, we know, like, I'm telling you now, the Paladin's really sexy, so just where to place the Cavalier. Explosive sexy time. Yeah, you're going to feel those fireworks, I'll tell you. Oh, flat top helmet? You reckon best helmet? No, I don't go much on the flat top helmet. It's just asking for like a bonk. You're not digging the Cavalier either. No feathers in the helmet, kind of boring. Yeah, picnic blanket on the horse though. Hello Mont. Hop up. Cavalier also forget which hand they're dominant with because they switch the hand they carry their ship. Okay, so they're ambidextrous. That's pretty cool. Cavaliers will refuse everything before marriage? Why? Imagine going out with someone wearing a little bucket on their head. What? Yeah, that's true, Joe. I think I'm happy to put the Cavalier above the Knight because they are, you know, they're committed to self-improvement. Just looking at this dude in your Catholic radar is going nuts. Lord Buckethead. Oh god, you're making really good points about the bucket. Monkey. No. Don't diss the bucket hat. Anyone wearing that much armor probably doesn't want to open up and talk about his feelings. Now that's a point I had with the Arbalest as well. And I agree even more so for the Cavalier. Cavalier can go just above the Knight. It's just not very sexy. Between Light Cav and Elite Eagle Warrior? No, not B tier. No. Like, these ones have sex appeal, then the Cavalier just doesn't. There's some pros to the Cavalier, granted, but we're ranking sexiness and it ain't doing it for me. Come on. So, heavy CA. I feel like I prefer the regular CA. It's just a bit more light-hearted. Mow. A bit more light-hearted. The heavy CA, I feel like, is carrying a lot of weight on those armoured shoulders. Knows he's put on a few kilos and letting you know he's uncomfortable. Maybe blaming you for it, actually. You always feel the heavy CA just puts more burden on the horse. Not very manly. True. Yeah, but menacing is not sexy. Look better than the CA. Not by heaps, though. There's not that much of a difference. It does have more arrows in the thing that carries the arrows, of which the name I've forgotten. But yeah, I really get just burden kind of vibes. Quiver. Yeah, but we can't compare them. We're not comparing them to unique units. That's a whole nother tier list. Pretentious title. Heavy CA. Yeah. There's a subtle dominance in the heavy CA versus CA. I'm gonna put them below the... Actually, I'm gonna put them high B tier. I'm looking at all the things we've got in A tier. And I think it can be top of B tier. The heavy CA upgrade is actually bracer plus chemistry plus heavy CA. It's way too much work. Work not sexy. Yeah, I feel like the heavy CA is just more kind of needy than the regular CA. The regular CA, like I said, more lighthearted, a bit more easygoing, which is nice. So, brings us to what, the elite battle elephant? Okay, so we've definitely had a helmet upgrade here, and it's definitely a +1 for sexiness when we see sun protection. The wide-brimmed hat, love it. Even including the elephant itself in the upgrade, giving it some nice clothing, armor, is quite nice. I like the fact he spent some time, yes, decorating his elephant. Yeah, so now I really feel like they are a team. It's not just this lazy dude on top of this beastly elephant. Now they're a team, and now they're working together. He cares for his Ellie, +1 for that one. Yeah. Good parenting skills. That's a good point. Okay, guy always brings his protection. Whoa. Whoa. High maintenance, serious ego problems then, but does make them more sexy. The politics are complicated. I know. I'm still not into elephants. I still think that the dude should get off the elephant and get up there in the front line himself. He's not very courageous, not very brave. But +1 for having the agility to get on top of a huge animal, and I feel like he'd have a ladder or something. Like, he's just not someone that I feel takes initiative and does it himself, puts the hard work in. Steve-O, so the other guy is poor and we judge him for not being able to buy fancy things for his elephant. No! It's about the mentality. Jack it up. So you don't like dudes with these huge beasts between their legs. Dude's riding an elephant, okay? I'm actually gonna do this and put him there. D for degraded tier. Ellie rider next to the dorky. Oh, sorry, not behind the monk. Sorry. Up here. Up there. So, this is an elite step lancer. He's got... I'm gonna call it a green flag, okay? All these units are are grey. They're not even grey, they're like Gaia units. There's no player colour. But if you're playing as player 3, this would be a green flag on top of his helmet, and what can I say? That's just a big green flag for me. This is the elite Step Lancer. It does look scary, so where's our Step Lancer actually? Now he's covering his face. Ooh, I feel like he's got something to hide now, and it's not really transparent about his emotions. What if you get player 2? Could be a red flag. He's mysterious and fancy. That's true. He would definitely escort you to a masquerade ball. And that's pretty sexy. Yeah, I don't know. There's pros and cons, really, boy. Like, I have to appreciate the care for his body. Like, I reckon he's like my body is a temple kind of guy. But then more armor could also mean that it's just harder to get to them. Like, get through their harsh exterior. He will reverse kiss you like on Spider-Man. Okay. Elite Step Lancer sculpted his helmet to look like his chiseled face. And that's some phantom shit. That's sexy as hell. I was gonna say it before, Mitch. Like, I'm getting kind of Phantom of the Opera vibes. And that is sexy. Is it sexy enough for S tier? I kind of think so. Yeah, Pleb, maybe I can fix him, right? Maybe I can fix him. We're gonna go S tier. I can't believe I've done that. I can't believe I've done that. He can penetrate those emotional walls. Now to the heavy camel rider. I like the shield. Where have we got our regular camel rider? Down the bottom of B tier. Actually, I prefer the regular shield, I have to say. I don't have any strong thoughts here. It's kind of like the CA compared to the heavy CA. Same points that we can make. Heavy camel always goes for the same type of person, and it usually doesn't even work. Nice. Nice. Bigger shield, bigger sword, more armored camel. Bigger shield, bigger sword. I think it's putting up a shield. I'm thinking C. But where in C? I think a feudal skirm is sexier than a heavy camel rider. I even would say an Eagle Scout sexy, even though we had a lot of negatives for the Eagle Scout. It's sexier than a Men-at-Arms. Actually, it could even be D tier. I think we're gonna go top of D tier. Alright, I had so much potential and did nothing with it. D tier. Yeah, I agree, Steve. Oh my god. Okay, now, this is a unit that I actually always forget it exists in the game. But we've got the Hand Cannoneer. Hand Cannoneers. Now, Zealous, don't get caught up, guys. Don't think about who's OP, who counters a lot of units. Think, are they sexy? I think the hat, look. Oh, see, hat is +1 for sun protection. I like a good wide-brimmed hat. But the pants are kind of dorky. And usually, like, especially with this tier list, with these units, I'm trying not to judge on their appearance or their clothing choices too much, except for the Eagle line, sorry. But here, the pants are a bit ridiculous. Big gun, really big gun, compensating for something, probably. Failed Arbalest. Yeah, I feel like, true, comes from the range, but doesn't have the skill to wield a bow and arrow. Hand Cannoneer is literally the nerd that got a sweet finance job after school but gets flattened if he gets caught in the alley. So not very street smart. He fights dirty, using gear over skill. Yeah, I agree. Grill, the archer and the crossbow and the arbalest, especially the archer, they're gonna have better finger work. Okay, I'm putting him in D tier. I don't think he's sexy. I don't think anything about him is really sexy except for the sun safety. Smells like gunpowder all the time. Gross. Doesn't benefit from ballistics. Cringe. Yeah. Garbage fit. Looks like he got a promotion, decided to buy the first pair of Louis Vuitton shorts he could find for clout. Yes. True. I'll put him there. So, that brings us to the BBC. Now control yourselves, people. Control yourselves. This is guaranteed a sexy unit. BBC definitely knows how to play with his toy. S tier, hero, hard work, hard job, risk life for the smallest risk. All about that. Can't believe I'm reading this out loud. He pushes a very heavy cannon around with impressive speed, that's true. Look at his posture, his back will be screwed, not in a good way. No, but you know what? I don't think his back will be screwed. I think he's gonna have hella strong glutes and hammies. He's actually got pretty good, like, technique for pushing that thing around. Joe, I'm not reading that out loud. Ooh. Melee armor 2, so he's got those street smart advantages. High maintenance though? High maintenance, yeah, but I think he makes up for it. It's a solid S tier for me. I think it's even above the heavy step lancer. Below the Hussar though, because Hussars are sexy. Yellow boy, you think BBC's sex appeal blows everything away? Yep. Steve-O, pushing a small cannon. It's not a small cannon, are you kidding? Biggest risks, biggest rewards. Small chance of making it home, takes the most skill to survive and comes out victorious. Yeah, pro dodgeball player. Yeah, ultimate sexiness. He can't do anything in close range. That's okay. You don't want him to be aggressive in close range. You want to get close to him and feel protected from things further away. Does have expensive taste, yeah. BBC can move to different positions. Like the Virgin Treasure has to pack first. Guys, next episode of my sexiest AoE unit tier lists is going to be ships and siege. So we will be ranking the sexiness of a trebuchet. Okay, so that brings us to the champion. Job description, champion. What more do you want? Paradox reckons the last 3 are all S tier. Oh, an animal tier list. That might be a bit weird. Buildings, a building sexiness tier list. Okay. So the champion. I think most of us agreed that the two-handed swordsman attack animation is sexier than a champion attack animation. The champion is very well accomplished, a high achiever, maybe a bit of a perfectionist. I don't think they're that sexy. She's too young to be seeing this, literally. Pleb reckons he seems douchey. Nothing special, just a dude with good equipment. Yeah, yes. The champion knows he's the best and just phones it in, unlike two-handed swords that always tries his best. I agree, Joe. I think champion's got to be below two-handed swordsman. Might be a bit arrogant, yeah. I think he'd go around telling everyone he's a champion as well. Steve, what makes you say doesn't wear clean underwear? If this was a Netflix high school series, he'd be the football quarterback. Champion, the kind of guy who group shit the club and then gets pissed off when you tell him to fuck off. Yes. Yes. Alpha male's getting wrecked in this tier list. You can tell about that. Okay. I'll trust you on that one. I think the champion can go just above the man at arm. The man at arm is more humble. Actually, you know what? It can go below the man at arm. It's not his fault he was called out. People don't choose. And I said that before. I did say that before, that it's not their fault what they're named. But I still feel like even if the champion hasn't named himself the champion, he'll go around bragging about the fact that he's a champion. That leaves us with the paladin. And look, can anyone deny that the paladin is S tier sexy? I would say below BBC, but above elite step lancer. Silly rabbit is. Plumes on a helmet is sexy. He likes a bit of flourish. Adds to his character. You see him coming from a distance and you're like, there he is, here he comes. Below elite step lancer? Feathers on the helmet are good. He doesn't have a stupid ass bucket helmet. Paladin straight S tier. I'm feeling S tier. I'm gonna indeed put below the elite step lancer though. Okay, so this is where we're at. Oh, but before we get to where we're at, Paladin put care into his appearance, doesn't just code it on his title, yeah. Joe, you're gonna say Rubly Pala B tier, DE Pala S tier. S tier sexy, but 100% 100% Catholic. We'll go out on a date with you and just stare past you the whole time. Flaunting their wealth. Yeah, it is a little bit of a flaunt, but I think it's deserved at least. Sorry, Payhel, I'm just not into bucket helmets. Who rides a horse automatically makes him a douchebag. No! No! What about the Hussar? What about the Elite Step Lancer? He has Malfoy vibes? No, I think the Cavalier has Malfoy vibes, but the time you're a paladin, it's like you've seen some shit. You've been in some battles, you've worked your butt off, and you've earned your position. I would bring a paladin home to my parents, and they would get along so well because he would tell them all about his stories, his adventures, his journeys, his achievements, but not in a stuck-up kind of show-off way. Okay, this tier list shows that a little amount of feathers is way better than going full feathers. Yeah. Definitive tier list, yes, it is official. Universally accepted soon. I actually agree with the female villager. I think she can go further up. Not to A tier just yet. No, actually, she's kind of sexy. Above heavy CA, yeah, above heavy CA at least. Because she does everything the male villager does, but in a dress. And you say with those pecs, definitely S tier. It's not all about the pecs, guys. Atomic says, I get secret himbo vibes in from the paladin too. Yes! Yes! How's monk D tier? Those old men do seduce early on and are beautiful enough to give faith to people. I'm personally not into old, bald, overly religious, manipulative people. But the Meso monk, the Meso monk on the other hand. Oh my god, Drew, you reckon the Petard half their explosions are premature? That's a great point that I didn't consider. Here I was only really thinking about their successful explosions, but most of them are premature. Old and bald, and I could have stopped there, honestly. Okay. Imagine breaking up with a Petard though. I know that's why you just don't go there in the first place. Maybe that's a good point. I think Petard might come down. Actually, Petard can go below the Meso monk. Like, they always think about banging and don't even arrive at the right time. Okay, you're really convincing me here. They're moving down. Not just because Steve put in 100 bits and asked for it. Then they've still got some sex appeal. There's still sexy things about them. They're not D tier. I think a high B now is reasonable. Atomic, the Meso monk looks like he sacrificed his hearts at 6 then hits the gym at 7. Oh, yeah, I think I'm happy. I'm gonna call it. Let me just have one final review. Trade card is the sexiest standard Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition unit in the game. It is confirmed. We can't deny it. If you have problems, just go back to my justification in the VOD for that one. We've also got the Hussar, the BBC, the Elite Step Lancer, and the Paladin, all very sexy units. And then, not sexy at all, doesn't matter what you say, they're just no sex appeal, no chance, is the Heavy Camel Rider, the Battle Elephant, the Hand Cannoneer, the Militia, the Pikeman, the Longswordsman, and the regular monk. So that is the definitive tier list. It's official. And I hope you liked it.